Well, none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots, yeah. None of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth. Telling you, yeah, the truth, the truth. You have to go back to the roots, the roots. Go to the roots, to the roots. Yeah, man, you know, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know, the Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth, Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment, the Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, you know, no matter how them try run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!
Subscribe now.
Thank you. Welcome all of you to today's edition of the Afridamus report. If you're here, please make sure you like and subscribe to this channel, and don't hesitate to hit the like. It's free. And also we have the Cash App super stickers, or whichever. If you like the program, you're more than welcome to contribute and support the program. But today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be talking about a video that I have here from a gentleman named Franklin. Franklin is a Nigerian brother out in the UK. But, I've seen many of his videos, and I have to tell you, this guy, he is a professional at, the things he talks about. And to be quite honest, I've had where he was pandering at one time, certain topics, but when it really comes to the topic that the video I'm about to analyze here, he's on point, and he is going off of experience, okay? And the things he talks about, these are the same exact conversations I have had with many people. Because, over here in this channel, guys, if you think about it, I'll be talking about, Black diasporans that relocate to Africa. But now, what about the African diasporan who left Africa? People like myself, like Franklin, because these conversations are not popular amongst Africans. Because you see, in the African system, anyone that is born, because today when I say diaspora, I'm not speaking about, like Black people from the West, because you're diaspora too. But what you fail to understand also, or forget about, is, let's say, people like us who travel from Africa. So when you're leaving Africa, it doesn't matter how old you are, maybe if you're a teenager, even, I would say from teenage on up, because many people they want to program you, that's the goal. You are programmed to believe that you have to take care of, your parents, your relatives, everybody. So just for the simple fact that you came to the Western world, that's why you would see many people, if you live in the West, especially like I live in America, and I know some people who they work 3 jobs. These people have no life for themselves. Some of them, they don't even have proper documentation. So Franklin, he talks about these type of topics, and this is real life. This is not just some YouTube talking point, because most people, majority that I know, especially traveling to America, their dream is to come and explore the opportunities that are in America, you know. So, for instance, many Africans, especially as far as I know, many do not inherit wealth. So the parents, the children are their retirement plan. I used to talk about this on Facebook, especially with my Gambian community. Those people, to be honest, I love my people, but they are a lot more close-minded when it comes to this. So, because many people want to push this because they want to continue the cycle whereby they don't have any plans of how to remove themselves out of poverty. So therefore, they would have to push this, ideology. So when people like Franklin, what he's pushing here is to say, unplug. You have to change your mind, the way you think. Sometimes, maybe you should focus on yourself first. Because if you can't even help yourself fully, how can you help other people? So you would see someone in the West here, working 2, 3 jobs, like I said, you know, um, paying their bills. So whatever amount, it's like a monthly thing, salary they have to send to a group of people back in Africa. I have noticed that many Africans, they do that. And even myself, I used to do that, to be honest. But I had a wake up call. I thought about it. I was like, hey, man, like, what the hell? What am I doing? This is ridiculous. It's like you deprive yourself. You are honestly using discipline to discipline yourself to make it for you, you know. But now that discipline, you start sending that money back. Who are you sending it to? People, grown people who, like, what's stopping them from doing for themselves? You see? So many people, a lot of people in the West, you, the diaspora, and that is watching me, there are a lot of you that are caught up in this cycle. You live in the diaspora 10, 20, some 30 years. You can't even own a single property in Africa. I've seen so many people. There are many, they don't even have documents to go back to Africa. The people there, do they care? They could care less. And also, on top of that, so I just came back from Gambia not that long ago. You would see in subtle forms, if people, they don't even know much about you, they themselves, like, they will be like, oh, do you have any property? So the reality is, those people, the people that you are helping, quote unquote, you are helping, those people are going to laugh at you when you don't have anything to fall back on. If you if troubles befall you, who is going to be there for you? Who's going to help you? So this is why you have to focus on yourself entirely and get yourself on your 2 feet. So these are the type of topics that Franklin talks about. And a lot of you that are watching me, if you're in the diaspora as Africans, you know exactly what I'm saying here. They use emotional blackmail. Some, they would say, oh, you would be blessed if you send me the money. You know what I believe in? What the real blessing is? The blessing and the luck is you get up every day and go out there and strive to make it. Look, even the birds, every beast in the wilderness, who don't even have companies set up whatsoever, even those animals wake up and go look for their survival. So it's only human beings, especially African human beings, who push this ideology, and the people who are victims of it make all types of excuses to accept this. So for those of you that's been in the Western world, you diaspora that is watching me, before I enter into Franklin's video here, you must know Franklin is not just talking from his, from his house in England. That's not where he's talking from. He's telling you from years of experience, from the barbershop talks, from churches, and he himself going to Nigeria. That is the perfect example, because you can take out so many West African examples from Nigeria. I would say Africa. So he was in Nigeria for months. So this guy, think about it. This is the topic that he focuses on. He studied this, right? So he would be the perfect guy to spend months over there to study exactly what is happening. And then he came back and he gave us what you yourself have known to be true, but you kept lying to yourself, because for years, your whole life, you've been brainwashed to believe that, as long as you come to the Western world, you should be the person feeding everybody, even the people that are older than you. Think about this. These people have been on earth, some of them 40, 50 years before you got here. The things that they could not figure out in all those years, they expect you as a 17-year-old, for some who came that early to the Western world, 18, 20, like literally, you would see grown people expecting teenagers to do for them. So they did not equip you with any strategy. They didn't figure out anything on their own, right? But they expect you to do all this for them. And some of the stories that you hear people tell you, they are very heartbroken. Maybe that might not be your story. I get it. I'm not sitting here, talking as if, all is bad. No, but this is the reality. Do the people there really care about you? This is the question. And he's talking about family, your dealings. And some of you diaspora too, the sad thing about most diasporans, I have to call this out as well. You would see someone here who, they don't make much. They do for them, they try their best, right? But when these people go back to Africa, they are the ones they're giving wrong impression to them. Because you see, the people in Africa, they really think that, like you have money growing, like in the backyard or something. You see, they think that's the thought process. Because how you know this? When you're talking to a group of people who never ask you, what do you do for work? How do you make money? That tells you they don't have the concept of money. So you can't take advice from people like that. You cannot follow, those people's desires. So now when you go over there and you started, acting like, okay, you don't know how to do anything, you're dashing out money, pretending, now you fulfill that fantasy to those people. So therefore, you can't entirely blame them, because they have a fantasy. Some of you create that for them. You see, you have to learn to say no. You have to learn to focus on yourself. That's just the bottom line. Because, Africans, like, you left Africa because you want to uplift yourself. You want to get yourself out of poverty. You think working your 3 jobs, sending, half of your check to your people over there, that's going to get you out of your rut. No, this is why you see, even here in America, you would see so many of these older Africans, working in this cold. Like some of these guys, they've been here 40, 50, some of them 40 years, the people back there, either they've siphoned the money, make something for themselves going on, or they just is based on feeding. They are not getting anywhere. You cannot get anywhere. So both of you are stuck. You see? So Many people don't understand that they are psychologically and mentally controlled. This is why you see, like, even like diasporans, right, that go to Africa, they will say, oh, we are here to help and save the Africans. Because many Africans, even when I see it in these videos, when you meet them, they would present themselves as if they are dying, like they are so helpless. You see, that's how they present themselves. They have shuttered eyes. You're like, damn, man, why does this person look all sad and dusty? Some people would do this. And sometimes you would see people, like some of those people you don't know you are sending money to, they are living better than you. Don't you know this? They are living better than you. They are living in big houses, just living large. Just living large. But because some of you have, you also, your biggest problem is you have a God complex. You have a God complex because you see, some of you have low self-esteem. You think, you want to buy love. So, anything these people tell you, you're like, oh, if I don't do it, that means, they would be upset. Let them be upset. If somebody is upset at you because you have a dream, you have a desire, you know, you want to build, you want to build something for yourself, but they want you to follow their plans. Hey, I don't care who they are. They could be your mom. They are not God. They could be your father. They are not God. If they have their plans, let them do their plan and let you do your plan. You have to understand that you are an adult. But like you see, so many Africans, they would even deprive their children. They would deprive their children of resources to send to Africa. But these are your kids. So in Africa is the reverse. You are not receiving for many. For many. Okay? Here's a guy saying, oh, your parents too. Dude, it's Africa. I don't know if you're triggered by this, but this is the truth. Because the reality is, if you leave Africa because you want to overcome poverty, think about your practices. Is that the way to conquer poverty? Definitely not. That's not the way to conquer poverty. But I'm going to allow Franklin's video to play so you hear from the man. Because look, he's not just some guy that is pretending. This guy gives it raw. He doesn't care if you're upset or not. These topics are very hard topics to have with Africans. Do you know how many Africans, people even from Gambia, different places, I've had these similar conversations with, and the things I'm saying, they get so uncomfortable. You see, it shows their level of immaturity. Most Africans are going to be upset at this, but many are still very immature. You would see someone who's 50 years old. 50 years old, they cannot make correct decision. Look, to say working hard alone or working 10 jobs is not enough. That's not enough. When you have that money, how you spend it, now that's what determines everything. Because you can't continue working those jobs forever. The reason why anyone that's doing that, you are working those jobs so that you buy time for yourself tomorrow. That's what the jobs are for. But if you're just, blowing that money, sending it to people, you think, what's going to be there for you tomorrow? Because, you're not buying any time, because pretty much it's like, you're throwing your money, down the drain. Because if you're telling me, what you're doing, truly tell me what is the logic behind it? What would be the logic? Because it's not like you have, a mountain of money that you started off with. You see? So at some point, you got to stand up for yourself. Everybody have to stand up for themselves. Because you see, you look at your life, the things you're willing to do to get the things you want. You're willing to go out there and get it. So the people that are thinking that you should just hand that over to them, are they better than you? And in fact, sometimes the jobs that you would do, they would, if you tell them, they would say they feel too good to do those jobs. So this program here is to try to help you wake up before it's too late, so that you don't end up a loser. Because you see, the people back there, like I said, some of the people you are giving this money to, they are doing much better, much better. But let me get Franklin in here. Give me a moment. Let me play my copyright disclaimer so that we can get straight into the program, and we'll stop in between, but I want you guys to hear him all the way through. Here we go. All right. So, just so you know, these are very important. I know over here, I have, this is the best edutainment channel on this side of heaven, but it's also to, help you understand and give you answers to some of the deep inner conflicts that, you're dealing with as an individual. Because you see, there are many people who they don't even have proper documentation in this Western world. Those are the people who even suffer the most, because you see, those people don't know if they can get deported at any time. So whatever money they make, they send it. They send it back there. So God help them, because it's like they can get deported at any time. There are people who have lived in the shadows in the Western world, working, making money, sending money to their people there, at least so they can have something to start with if that ever happens. And you know what? When they get back there, everything they worked for was nowhere to be found. So at some point, there's a reason why some people are poor. It is not your job to get people out of poverty. Poverty is a mindset. It is a self-created situation, the way some people think. Look, I'm not saying, I don't want people to misunderstand also what I'm saying here, to think I'm suggesting you shouldn't help. There are some people who need help. You see, all of us at one time need help. There's a difference between helping someone and actually allowing someone to milk you. There is a difference between helping someone, get on their feet, and then making them a permanent dependent. How can you be dashing out money onto people that, you don't even have children, for example, right? So if you don't have children, you are dashing out pretty much child support money. I've seen people that do that. People who would send $500-$600 every month to, because their parents said so. And here in America, they have a bucket, meaning, they can't even afford to get a proper car. They have a car that constantly dies on them. They would ask for people to drop them off. Imagine that type of logic. That's the highest level of brainwashing. But let's allow Franklin to keep on here.
For stopping by. If you're watching this as a playback, thank you for doing so. If you like what I'm about, don't forget to smash the like button. Okay. Smash the subscribe button. Once you do that, select the bell button and select the all option. Okay, so you're notified when I'm online. Right. Before we get the show started, I offer Ifa divination service. Be kind tonight. That was going to be back today, and we're going to talk about. Good evening, Badmus. Now we're going to talk about some stuff. All right, and it's basically about African diasporans. Okay. Please smash the like button.
So guys, Franklin, he is in the UK. So what he's saying here, I live in America. It applies, okay? Applies very much so. So just to give you a background here. So what he's saying applies.
Smash the like button. So recently, I was in Nigeria for like 2 straight months and got back not too long ago. It was a good time. What was I doing out there? I'm into construction project management as well, managing projects for diasporans back home. So if that's something you're interested in, land procurement, management, building projects and all them stuff, okay? Talk to me. Now, I always like to bring my observations and everything so I can bring it to folks. The premise of my content creation is if you disconnect, because if you're in the US, you're in the UK, you're sweeping gutters and you're washing plates, you are hiding behind someone else's identity. In fact, breaking immigration rule every day you step out of your door. They don't care. They don't care.
So he's talking about the people back home. No matter, you could be going through all these conditions, they don't care. And he's right. I know a guy, right? His story. This guy had immigration issues here in America. And he had money that, like I said, these guys who know they have these immigration issues, they would send their money back home there because they never know when, the plug would be pulled. They never know when they can be deported. So their minds, it's like it's scattered. It's not even, they don't have peace of mind. But this guy got picked up and put in, immigration jail, and he needed certain amount of money to bail, to use as bail. So he calls his people over, while he's in jail, he wants them to send the money to him. Their response was like, come on, why would we take money and send it from Africa to America? You're supposed to just be sending it. He said, I am in jail. I need it to, to use it as bail. You know what they told him? They said, it's just jail, it's part of being a man. It's manhood. You'll get over it. Guys, imagine that. It is his own money. These people lack total empathy and compassion. But you're over here always trying to develop that for them. They don't care. It was his own money. It was his own money. They didn't care. Even think about it, right? He is their ATM machine. They wouldn't even try to free the ATM machine. That's how greedy these people are. So you see how the standard they are holding him to, that's the same standard they are holding you, the diasporan, to. So imagine they'll be like, oh yeah, get over it, it's jail. He's in jail, right? They would say things like that. Or like Franklin was saying, if you talk about how expensive things are here, the bills, they would say, oh, if you don't like it, just come back. So when it comes to you, there's absolutely no excuse. They're like, just shut it and do what you gotta do to make it. But don't you think you in the diaspora should be saying that to the people that are begging you? Because imagine, that means they know They know what needs to be done to make it, right? Stop crying, be disciplined, shut it, and work for what's yours. But in Africa, I'll tell you, that is not the plan, especially in West Africa. For most people, like the idea of making money is to strong arm their children, is to strong arm their children or somebody else. So instead of holding somebody to all these standards, they should be holding themselves to this. But when anyone that talks to you that way, know that that person doesn't care about you. They just pretend. They just want what you can do for them. That's it. Period. Let's hear more.
The primary concern is the delivery of the forex from you. Baola láti ẹ máa jábọ́. Oṣù tí fẹ́ parí náà Túndé. Àwọn àbúrò ẹ ti àti jẹ àti mu náà ni ó yẹ kó o mọ̀. Do you understand me? What's up in Bali? Fact.
So for those of you that don't know what language Franklin is speaking, that's Yoruba. He's speaking Yoruba language there. So, if you don't understand it, maybe another time I'll translate. But that was Yoruba right there.
And this is how people adopt these undue pressure. The pressure is a lot in our community. You see what I'm talking about? Trust me, some of these folks back home, especially the ones that are parents, the older generation, they would despise me. They would despise my video. Some of them, they're so angry, especially the religious nut jobs. When their children send them my content, they would instantaneously weaponize their Bibles and their Qurans, and they would try to twist it and say, oh, this guy is demonic, or this guy doesn't want you to take care of family.
Guys, Franklin, he is on point 100%, guys. He's on point. Because here's the thing. They would come and try to bring Bible talk to you, or they would say, oh, you've lost your mind. You've left the way. So, okay, if I'm waking up to the fact that I don't want to be exploited, I don't want to be hustled, so that means I'm a fool now because I don't want you to hustle me. And you would see people, they would say to you, yeah, you giving it to other people, that's what blessing is. No, the blessing is when you are able to get up, you are able to get up and go do for self. There's no more blessing than that. Plain and simple. But their idea of blessing is, yeah, you give it to me. Yeah, of course. I mean, if you have the power to brainwash somebody to believe that, some people would. They would use all kind of techniques. So he's on point. Look, I used to make videos over on Facebook few years back. And there was this guy, he shows himself as keeping it real. He's Gambian guy. So one time I did a topic about something along these lines. He shared it on his page. And then within a short time, he took it down not long, because when I saw the messages, it was mostly, especially the women saying, and they agree, they're like, yeah, what this guy is saying, he's not lying, but what he's trying to promote, that's not going to help us. Oh, so you mean exploiting other people is what's going to help the society? What I'm trying to push is for people to be self-sufficient. Help yourself first so you can help other people. Like when you are in the airplane, look at the instructions they give you. They said if there's a plane crash or something, or if the air pressure drops, something is gonna fall from above you. Grab the mask, which is a mask, grab it, put it over your nose first, meaning you are able to breathe. They didn't say, put it to the person next, on the person next to you's nose. Put it on your nose, and then you can help other people. That's how it works. But if you can barely help yourself, and now you've got people that are trying to suck you dry, whatever plans you have will never work. So you would have to use common sense and focus on your plans and do the things that you need to do. Because the honest truth is, if you don't achieve those things, if you can't do for yourself, they will not help you. They will never help you. Simple.
Is this, is this, is this. No, I am just an emancipator. All I'm telling you is look after you. You see, it's high time, it's about time that people need to wake up and separate themselves from this self-adopted God complex. A lot of you diasporans, am I asking you not to help people? I've been saying it, I said it last night. Don't help at your own detriment.
Look, he is correct. I know guys who, like a lot of Africans, they suffer from, this adopted, God complex. You still know some people who they would literally borrow money just to send it to the people back there. They will be on the phone acting like big men. It's like sometimes you have to say no, you know? Don't do it at your own detriment. Don't take your gas money and send it, because you're going to need the gas. You're going to need to put gas in your car and get to work. Don't send your rent money or your grocery money. I mean, in Africa, as far as I know, where I'm from in Gambia, like most people don't have to pay rent. Food is relatively easy to get, cheap. So, you need more, you need the money more than they do. That's just truth. But trust me, if you don't stand up, and because what I'm suggesting here is, by you helping yourself, you are also helping them. Yeah, that's the truth. By you helping yourself, you are also helping them. But if you're half-assing things for your own life, how do you expect to, realize your full potential? You never can. That's what many Africans in the diaspora, you see them, that's what they are facing. Many, after so many years, can't even go back and resettle there. They wish they could, but all those years, all the money, think about it, that you've been sending to some of those people, if you had saved it, you would have, made something great of it by now, something positive. Matifi, thank you for the super chat. He said, no reason to go backward. Exactly. Thank you for that. You're absolutely correct. You just got to learn to keep moving forward. Backwards, that's not going to help you, because that's where you used to be. So there's a reason why, you moved away from that, because it didn't work. Let me thank you here properly, Matifi. Thank you for the super chat. Oh yeah, and Go Black Pow, thank you. I forgot to thank you for the super chat. He said here, let me read the super chat. He said, I stayed quiet in the chat when he said that, but trusted that he was relaying the truth. He's done a few streams from the ground in Nigeria recently. Yes, Go Black, you are very, very right about that. You're absolutely correct. What he's saying here, he is speaking gospel truth. That's why it makes those, like the people that send it to their moms, uncles, and even most people in Africa, they're not gonna like it because somebody is exposing the mental game. Somebody is talking some sense. Imagine your whole life, if you've been brainwashed to believe this is the way to do things. Many Africans, they don't understand, money. When I say understand, it doesn't mean because just spending it, going to work, getting paid, and spending it, that's not knowing money. What can your money do for you? Can your money buy you time in the future? When I say time, some are confused. They probably think I'm saying life. You could call it life, but meaning you create something for you, something that can generate wealth for you as a person. That's something you need to sit and think about and take it seriously. Because some of you act like, you're gonna be on this earth forever. Some people walk around as if they have all this time in the world. Life is way too short. Like before you know it, like some of you, before you know it, you'll be 60, 70. You're like, oh shit. So those people you used to help back there, you think you can go live with them? That's what Franklin is trying to point out here. But go Black Pow, thank you for the super chat there. All right, continuing here.
Plenty of people. The culture in England, for example, here in the UK, everybody keeps, to themselves, each man to their cross, each man to their business, each man to their household. People don't really put their details out there. So I can walk past you on the high street and I can be in a nice jumper and a lovely, visually appealing winter jacket. I'm well shapen up, looking fresh. And I may not have £500 to my name. I don't even know how I'm going to pay the next rent or the next mortgage. I'm actually struggling to put food on the table for my family. Only if you're like really, really close to someone, then you may know, okay, because you're close, they open up to you, you may really know ibiti patatin town. Bro, hand on my heart, if I'm eating Ibura, my inbox is littered with heartbreaking stories. People my age band, people older than me. Sometimes I pinch myself when I see somebody in their late 50s. Some people don't even have anyone to talk to. Life in the diaspora can be depressing. So when they watch my...
He's right. I've started seeing some of the some of these diasporan women, African women, who now they've lost their mind so much. Now, I saw one told me, she's looking to get cats. That's how lonely she's been. She wants to get cats. I said, cats? I said, wow. I said, are you now trying to turn into a witch? And, we laughed it off, but I was serious. I was asked, I was serious. She says she's about to get cats. I was like, are you practicing to become a witch? Because she's at that age. When you read the book of witches, when eventually, witches become witches, she's at that age mark. And she's talking about getting cats, black cat. But he's right. He's right. Some people get super lonely in the West. But they don't dare. They can't go back to Africa because the moment you left there, now you are counted as being a part of the diaspora. So that's what gets a lot of people. You see, If you want to change that, you have to change your mind. You have to be unapologetic about who you are. You have to be unapologetic about living your life. You see, if you want to be yourself, especially if you're African, that is the most difficult thing ever. People don't get it because the oppositions that come against you is just phenomenal. Look, Africans, the one thing most Africans hate is a free African, a free person. You're not trying to think like them. They are like, oh, you think you're better? No, I just know the way you think and the way you do certain things. I see the results of it. And I want a different results. That's what life is all about. They like to tell you, oh, God did it. No, but you are the one doing these things. And if you have common sense and you're observant, you can observe the person. They can even be your parents. Okay? They are human beings. You see where their decision got them, right? Not far. But acknowledging that doesn't mean you don't love those people. And for those of you that like to quote the Bible or the Quran, when they say, love and honor your parents so that your days may be longer. That is true. What they mean by that is not to hate your parents. Forgive them for the things you resent them for the things you hated them for. Forgive them. Even though I know most of you, your parents, the African parents, they try to make you feel guilty that you are the one that owe them apology or wrong. No, is the opposite. Is the opposite. Okay? But you can't go around hating your parents, to be honest. You can't do that because that's not going to get you anywhere. You see? So when they say honor your parents, that's what they mean. You cannot hate your parents. I mean, that's for your own good. For your own good. Because when you hold hatred towards your own parents, trust me, it will affect you. Because if you can't love your own parents, who can you love? So that love comes with tough love, okay? So saying that, oh, if I don't give you 10,000, that doesn't mean I don't love you. No, that's not love. That means you're blackmailing me, forcing me to buy something that is already natural. I forgive you. I forgive you for all the things I resent you for. That is for, like that's how people should be thinking. If you don't go talk to any wise man, they will tell you. So that's what that quotation interprets. It means do not hate your parents. It doesn't mean buy them things. If you could, sure, but yeah, that's what that means.
My shows, sometimes it's like opening a wound. It's like a reminder of their suffering. This is why I say, maybe there's somebody watching. I don't know who you are. There's 239 people right now, 240 something people right now. Please smash the like button, smash the like button. I don't know what you're doing for a living. You might have a great job in the West. You might
Guys, hit the like. Thank you.
not. You might be at the bottom end of the spectrum. Whatever you're doing, I keep saying it. I'm not going to stop saying it. Prioritize yourself. And I know it's a very, very difficult mental battle for a lot of people. The reason is most of us were conditioned this way. We were stripped of critical thinking from childhood. So
The man is right. Most people, like, look at it even here. There's a guy saying uplift your mind, but I don't think he has critical thinking skills. No one is suggesting here that helping is wrong. But there's a difference between helping and getting exploited. We've made that clear. So you have to use critical thinking. What he is saying here, he is absolutely correct. If you are honest with yourself, But you see, this is one of those things where these topics are not about convincing anyone. Just as he says, it will help if one person, two people, but it is about helping. Uplift my mind. Thank you for liking the video. I'm not picking on you. Thank you.
You've already formed, you've gone through your formative years, you're a fully blown adult. In fact, I know a 55-year-old gentleman sent me an email the other day and said, Franklin, I've been watching you for some months now. He said, I'm 55 this year. 55-year-old man.
What he said there in Yoruba, said, I'm 55 and I have nothing. I told you guys, I will be able to translate as we keep going. Yeah. But he's putting emphasis on it. You know how like the Yoruba people, when they are talking in English, when they just throw in Yoruba, that means it is a serious business. It means the man was talking deep. Look, I know some Yorubas here in America, and mostly Nigerians, they will be the one that are good at like really, trying to help you see, open your eyes. I remember for the first time, a long time ago, the first person I ever heard this conversation with, like African person that totally understood, it was this older Nigerian guy. And the guy at the time, he lived in America for so long, and he was telling me, he helped me wising up early. He explained to me, he's like, look, you need to focus on yourself, okay? You need to focus on you. So he's like, because he told me, he's like, if not, he said, you would spend your whole life working and giving to other people. He said, before you wake up, he said, you wake up one day and you're my age and you won't have anything to point at. And that's what's happening to a lot of, Africans in the West. That's what's happened to them, unfortunately. So if you're one of those people, you can still, make that U-turn. You still can.
Elect Bonnie, don't be small picking. He said, bro, I can't even look at my mom in the face to say, no, enough is enough. I'm not going to insult the brother and say, oh, he's a spineless man. No. In fact, before, I used to be a bit harsh. Like, come on, man, you're not man enough. But now...
No, Franklin, that's not being harsh. You're calling it like it is. If you're a grown man, 50-something-year-old, and you can't stand up for yourself and say no, you are weak. That's weakness. I think Franklin is being nice here, but no, Franklin, call it like it is. And if you can stand up and say no, that's weakness. Game Jewel said you can make money and help your family, but they have to also help themselves and also don't feel entitled. Exactly, Game Jewel. You're absolutely correct about that. Dwayne Jones said they should come to the West, get educated, then go back home to build their country and send the money back without your mind is food. Dwayne, trust me, I agree with you. That's what it's supposed to be. But if you look at now, the moment you leave, that option is gone because you come back, right? There are people who they are well set up back there. They will get the education and bounce. Some people get sent by the government. But if you're someone who, some of these people, they sold their plot of land to send them over, for some of those people, they can never hear the end of it because they can never say no. They're like, oh, we bought the plot of land and sent you. So that person cannot just come and get education and go back there. And they start looking at each other. You see, Or, if they really don't have anything to hold on to, you got to create your own. So that's what makes it difficult for many. But there are some who do go back right after that education. Yes, I do see that also. Like back then, I remember that used to be more common. But now more and more people are staying longer and longer, as far as I can tell, for here in America.
Relaxing sounds. Please send me an email with the topic you'd like me to look into. Okay. But now, as I take a step back and
Oh yeah, visionary of love. You're absolutely right. Visionary said, even on the continent in Gambia, once one of the family members working, he needs to support a whole bunch of people. For them, it's hard as well. You are absolutely correct. You are absolutely right. So, what Visionary of Love is saying here is like one person would get a job, and then you would see other 10 people plus would want to depend on that one individual. So right then and there, because it's like it will be hard to lift yourself up, because it's like if he gets a job, the other people also get a job, somebody else get a job, then that would lessen the burden. But no, people would actually sit around, fold their hands, and they're like, hey, that guy is on him. He gotta take care of us. And it's not just, oh, you're doing a good job. It is an entitlement. They feel entitled to that. Yeah. Kawasi said, that's why I say this Pan-African is like Wodemaya, pure idiots. They don't understand what is happening on the ground. Exactly. Some of them are, I don't know if they're just delusional. Oh, they just they just hang out in different part of town. But this is more common than anyone can think of.
rid myself of any form of insensitivity and educate myself a bit more, I realize that, man, it's not easy. The problem stems from the way you grew up. Me, by nature,
What he's saying there in Yoruba, he said him, Franklin. He don't know about somebody else, but him, he's never put up with it. That's what he said in Yoruba, just to help you guys.
I'm like a black sheep in my family. Me, you run yeah anybody.
See, so me and Franklin, we have something in common. I'm also considered a black sheep because I don't go along with all that BS shenanigans. Because see, when it comes to my plans and what would make me free, I don't play about that. I don't joke with it. Hey, if you don't have to like me or what I'm doing, that's what life is all about. You go do you, do what makes you happy. Because see, I don't focus on what other people are doing. I focus on me, you see? So Franklin, like I said, I've seen many of his videos, and the the way he sees certain things, especially his dealings and investments, that's how I see the world too. You have to be a black sheep to be able to achieve the things you want to achieve.
I live on my terms. Doesn't mean I'm a bad person. No. Families can be the worst. You got to learn to put your foot down and live life on your terms. And in order for you to live on your terms as an African that emanated from an African family, my. It's an uphill battle.
Guys, he's not lying. Because you see, Africans, they don't mind. They don't mind their own business. Like you would even hear something, you would see African would say to you, oh, this is mostly Gambians would do this a lot, and Nigerians, they would say, and Aren't you African? Oh, aren't you Nigerian? Or they would say things like that. You see? That means, hey, why are you thinking different? Why do you want to be your own person? So it is definitely a uphill battle, a real one.
It's an uphill battle. It's very, very difficult. The psychological battle, the vindictiveness, the evilness that comes with it, the name calling, emotional blackmail. But you've got to face it head on. You have one shot at life. This is it. Thank you. You are going to offend a lot of people in the process. Offend them, yalla yawn. You get one shot at life. This.
That's right, Franklin. Yala yaom. That you have to. I had to say that in Yoruba, guys. I had to. Look, you are going to offend people. See, if you are an African, not just an African, amongst people, if you decide that you are going to pursue and be you, trust me, you would find out that people that you used to think that pretend that they love you, no, they don't. It's all pretense, it's all fake. Because if they love you, right, they would want you to be you. They would allow you to be yourself. But telling somebody how they should be, you know, telling someone how they should be, come on, guys, that's not love. That's controlling. That's how a controlling person operates. And you guys know, in Africa, I mean, inside many Africans, many Africans have a tendency of being dictators. Let's just keep it real. Let's just keep it real.
Is it. As I was saying, most people, once you've left the shores of Africa, you don't even know it. There's an invisible labeling. You become the retirement plan. Even if you're the younger one, they automatically transfer the responsibility of even you sorting out your older siblings. Are we saying it's a bad idea to help your siblings? No. There was a woman, unfortunately, she lost her husband here in the UK to, I think, blood cancer. This was pre-COVID, right? And
Guys, this is a very cold story. I want you guys to hear this. Seriously, listen to this carefully. Like, this is not just some YouTube talk. This is real life. Mola here said, this is why I despise Africans that say Africa has better cultural values than Europe. Just compare the societies and you will know it is a big lie. Absolutely. When it comes to many things, principles, ethics, and how to do things, yeah, I do hear Africans like to throw culture things. See, I'm a straightforward person. Sometimes I would just ignore those conversations because I know I'm going to hurt their feelings. Depending on what day it is or how much, egusi soup I had that day, it will determine if the conversation will take place or not. But let's allow Franklin to continue.
she's now a single mom with 2 children. Hey, Akinzo, thank you for the super chat. She's now a single mom, yeah, struggling, trying to stay afloat with 2 children. Her husband died, was it 2019? She said, Franklin, my older brothers back in Nigeria are on my monthly payroll demanding money. She said, sometimes when I'm really broke, some of the child tax credit, child benefit, child tax credit that I get from the government for my children to support my earnings is what I have to put together to send to them. And that broke my heart.
So you see, guys, what he's saying here, like this woman, she's in the UK. her husband died from bone cancer, right? She's with her children. So I guess they get like, you know, they call it Social Security, I guess, for the kids here in America. That's what they call it. So this woman, even despite her husband dying, right? You would think the people back in Nigeria, they would be like, oh no, let's she gotta, take care of her kids and recoup. No, that's not how they were thinking. They kept calling her, WhatsApping her. I guess that's how it happened. They kept calling her. So she had to take the money they are giving her for the kids to send to them. And then that's what they would call blessing. So some of you have to learn to say no, because you're the one that knows your condition. See, if you're dealing with a group of people who don't care about your condition, they're, like thousands of miles away, you have to learn to know your own condition and make the right decisions. Because if you expect them to know and understand what you're going through or what you're dealing with, it will never happen. Because all they care about is you sending that money. That's it. Yeah, if you're like, yeah, my husband died, or I think some even, they don't think maybe, getting sick in the West or dying is that big of a deal. That's why they would even tell someone, oh, being in jail, that's nothing. And someone wrote it here that said, they'll probably say, oh, it's America. The jail is not a big deal. You're absolutely correct. They would say things like that, but they've never, been here. Jail is jail. I believe even if you go to Mars, if you're put in jail there, it's still jail. Yes, some jails might be better than others in condition, but it's still jail. Imagine someone telling you to get over it, you being in jail. And you, by the way, you are sponsoring those people. Man, I don't know about somebody else, but if that were me, the people that do that, they would be dead to me. Like, dead to me. I don't care what the relationship is, they will be dead to me. Dead and gone to me. Because, imagine that type of foolishness. What kind of individual even does that? Just think about that. It's very wicked if you really, really think deep about it. But those people, they don't think much of it. They just think, hey, it's just another day. Enjoy your top ramen in American jails. Yeah. And I bet if he's like, man, we're eating top ramen here, they'll be like, man, you're living large. That's the kind of stuff some of you deal with, unfortunately.
The child tax credit is being paid to you by the government to substitute your income so that you can cater for your family, your children. Child tax credit, child benefit. You understand me? Imagine. So basically, what the woman is telling me is, for a long time, she had to deprive her young children so she can send money to àwọn lórí ibú ẹ̀gbọ́n tó wà ní Nàìjíríà.
What he's saying there. So, see, he's being serious when he speak the Yoruba in between there. He's saying sending it to those useless people over there in Nigeria. So this woman, they had to emotionally blackmail her for her to take money, food out of her kids' mouth to send to them. What kind of people are those? So you guys have to learn to put your foot down. Wake up and smell the coffee. See, your obligation is to your children because you brought those kids in this world. Okay? You owe them. You don't owe anybody else but them. If you can help the people over there in Africa, sure. But your kids, no, you owe them. It's not the other way around. Even though I know most people like to, some parents, they would say, oh, I brought you in this world, how I suffer for you. Okay, but I didn't ask to be here. You made that decision. You see? Most of these people don't think about that. Before they start saying this to their children, you should think about it. Hey, your kid didn't choose to be here. You made that decision to bring that kid into this world. Unless if you are saying that kid, you own that person, you own them like your slave. Because that's what the chattel slavery was, slave masters. They own you and everything you have. I've heard people's father say this to them. They said, I own you and all your property and all your money. Guys, isn't that slavery? That's why one time I did a topic. In fact, I think it's on this channel earlier on, where I say most African parents are they have a slave master mentality. They raise their kids not to have critical thinking so that they can manipulate them. You see, but the world is bigger now, you see. So when you stifle your kids' thinking, how are they going to make it out in the wider world? So that kind of talk, that's slave talk, that's slave master talk. No, your child, you don't own your child. Your child is not your slave. You made the decision to have a child. Take care of the child, educate the child, clothe them, put roof over their head until they turn 18, until they can take care of themselves. Okay? That's what you're supposed to do. But, you don't do that. And then that child is 18, they start, 20, you're like, oh, you have to take care of me. That is a slave you created. You think you're creating a slave, you just want to be like, oh, I suffered for you. Well, you should have thought about it. You made this child. How else, you don't have to suffer to take care of a child. I would think you thought about it before making that child. So when you make that child, you have to figure out how to take care of that child. You don't have to suffer. If you're suffering, that means you could not even properly take care of yourself to begin with. So that means you shouldn't be having a child to begin with. Because I know people don't think about these things, but that is the truth. Maybe back in the days, right? During the farming days, yes, sure, people need many children. They need their kids to participate, in helping to grow the farm. But today, that is not the case. Today, people want to raise their kids, send them to a strange land, and expect fruits out of it. And they squeeze some people hard. I'm talking real hard. So I don't know if some people would make it, but it's not looking good.
And her parents are also in the background telling her that Odaju, Odemopetunde ò ní income, ṣó yẹ kó tún máa pè ẹ́, ṣé ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ yẹ kó pè ẹ́ lẹ́ẹ̀mejì. You can imagine. She said, Franklin, I would take about 70% of the child tax credit and child benefit every month wash. It's madness. These black tax problem is how, unbeknown to a lot of our people in our society, is how people ensure that the cycle of poverty goes on, carry on within the black community. Ó pọ̀ gan, ó tó pọ̀ jù. I'm talking about the people back home. Babawan, yala yai. Take it from Franklin. I'm the guy on ground. Look, these are some of the things that I brought. You see this? Some of you don't even know how much they sell this. Just an example, right? You see this? Peanuts, right? I went to the source where they make it locally, right? It's just an example. If I want to buy Maggi, I go to the market myself. I drive in Nigeria. A lot of people look at me like I'm some kind of alien, like I'm a superhuman. No, I'm not. I drive. The traffic back home is chaotic. There's so much lawlessness. I drive. I drive a truck. I drive like I permanently live in Nigeria. I drive every day. I drive myself. 24/7 I drive. At night, early morning, at the peak of traffic, I drive. I know how much a bottle of peanut is sold. I go to the source in Ibadan. I'll drive to Ojaoba. For those that know Ibadan, Ojaoba, proper local market. I go and face the market women. They try to rip me off because they look at me that I kind of look fresh. They know, they got eyes, you know. Their eyes are trained. They know. But I go toe to toe with them. You understand me? I go toe to toe with them. I put myself, what you will find is, with people back home, the moment you have a full control of your finance, you're going to see the true color of the people that you call friends and family. It doesn't matter if you've known your brother for 40 years, if this is your mother, don't forget.
The man is right. Guys, I dropped the link. So call in and tell me what you think about this topic here. If Africans, should really wake up and smell the coffee, people that are in denial about reality. So hit that link. The link is there.
For all the labelings of mommy, daddy, brother, sister, they are first of all humans like you. Your father has the ability to be unscrupulous. Your mother has the ability to be dubious. She's not an angel. But when we attach sentiments to our thought process, we don't want to think about it. My mom is perfect. That's right. You may well be one of the few that they genuinely have a good mother or they genuinely have a fantastic father. There are people out there who are lucky.
Look, the man is right. Okay. Parent, they are humans. They are human beings. Yes, he's correct. Some people, their parents, on point, but not always.
Fathers conniving with siblings, conniving with site engineers, all sorts. What I need you to first of all absorb is let me tell you, it's almost like psychopathy. It's set in stone. You are seen as an ATM machine back home. Point blank simple. There is no ifs, no buts, no sentiments. In fact, you are.
That's correct. Most of you don't know that. I know, like, there was some people, like I remember when I was talking about like the Pan-Africanist, some people that, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to Africa, saving the people, blah blah. Oh, the people are smiling. Or like, no, because you are the ATM. man, you're just hating because they look, many are not gonna tell you, they're gonna pretend, but some of us are telling you, like, nah, you are the ATM, because we know when a human is the ATM because we've been designated ATMs before. You see? So you are the bag, you are the ATM. But they just think, oh no, these people are down, they just love me. But that's not how one expresses love. The way people, especially in the African realm, their idea of what love should be completely blows my mind. It blows my mind every single time. MS Delta, thank you for the super chat here. He said, we black people all over the world face this. Some family members see you as an ATM. Absolutely. 100%. The interaction that you have, with them is like, it's about you being the ATM. The day that you stop that, they won't talk to you again. In fact, they would go around and tell other people, how evil you are, how you've done them wrong. They're like, oh, how did I do you wrong? Oh, by making the mistake of giving you some money. How is that person now the bad person, the bad guy? And you ask them, oh, how much money have you given them? How much help have you given this person? Oh, zero. Or they'll be like, oh, we are family. I know that. But why do I have to pay you for us to have a relationship? You see? Why aren't you paying me? Why can't we just be regular family like we used to be? But they make it awkward and weird. It's like a one-way street. When it's, oh, we family, so that means you got to give them money. But if we're family, like, why aren't you giving me money? So it's just a I would call it extortion and blackmailing. That's what it is. All right. Thank you there, MS Delta. Thank you very much.
The
And guys, I have the link pinned up there. Don't hesitate to hit that link, call in, come through. Let's hear what you have to say. You don't have to agree or disagree, but if you have something to add on to the topic, you can call as well. And Kidola, it looks like your connection is messing up there. Try to call in again. Thank you.
attitude towards most diasporans, I see it and I know what I'm talking about, is very toxic and very, very evil. People don't, when I say evil, doesn't mean they pull a knife on you or they have an evil look. No. When you're interacting with people and they know you are a diasporan, it's a lot. So imagine when you're not on ground, when you are miles away. And I'm telling you, every angle. I'm managing building projects. I'm dealing with illiterates, bricklayers, laborers on site. I need somebody to come and install windows. I need somebody to come and do plastering jobs. I'm the main guy on site. I have multiple people on my payroll, right? They will start a game of instant connivance so that they can unscrupulously extract money from you. It's a very, very tough psychological game. And if you're not wired to be resilient, you can't deal with them.
The man is absolutely correct. You have to be on point to deal with this psychologically. I'm telling you. MS Delta, thank you again for the super chat. He said facts. I have given over 50K to my youngest brother to start a business. See, MS Delta, you're doing it exactly like the African way. And you see, when you give people that huge sum of money, they end up hating you. They resent you. You find out that these people, they are your biggest hater, and they become entitled. They want to manipulate you. Even if the business fails, guess whose fault it is? You that even gave them the money. That's how they usually go. But he goes on to say, he gave money to his younger brother to start a business. Money lost. He uses our mother to guilt me. My sister told me to stop giving him money. I have. Smart idea. Don't, yeah, I mean, that's the real manipulation. They go through mother mostly. That's how they get to you. And it's like sometimes you have to learn to ignore the moms too. You just have to. Because if your mother is advising you things that are going to be detrimental to you, because you have to remember that's her other son. So in her, to her, she's blinded by the love for him. So she's gonna cover up for him every single time. That happens in Africa too. I mean, it's more common there. I think black people all over the world, you know, do things the same. This black tax thing is all over.
In fact, it's deadlier when your family members involved. If you step into this shop and you're trying to buy this glass cup, your cousin or your brother takes you into the shop. Franklin, let's look if they sell glass cups. As soon as he walks in, just look at my face, right? Here you are on the side. This is your brother, yeah? You're here. You walk into the shop where they sell these things. As soon as he looks at the seller, the owner of the shop, you see that? That's enough signal. The owner of the shop knows.
Guys, imagine that. Bro, that's cold-blooded. So your own brother bringing you for the kill. So he's right. So like the people who were saying, in the diasporans, they do this to the diasporans only because I'm talking about diasporans, like, let's say, black people from UK, who are not born in Africa, but they would say these people try to jack up the price. No, listen to even people who were born there and then go back. This man is telling you the story of a person's own brother. These are the type of things that Africans in the diaspora have to deal with back in Africa. So you are lucky you're not related to most of those people or any of them. You're just related by being black. So you can just easily, cut them off. But imagine if you were related to them. It's a lot harder.
Or if he already knows, sovereign I will, if he already knows the owner of the shop, he might have sent them a WhatsApp message or a text message or a quick phone call. Hey man, we are coming to your shop to check some glass cups. My brother is around from the UK. He's gonna be dressed in this shirt and all that. He's gonna have glasses on and stuff. You will see an Idefa around his neck and all that. Yeah, we're coming. And then when you get there, he pretends like he has never been to that shop.
Guys, mind you, Franklin was in Nigeria for 2 months straight. He was running all over the place. So he is telling you, it's literally, okay, for all of us here in the diaspora, right? He's like the undercover brother who went there, planted himself, and literally he infiltrated the game and study what is happening. So we thank him for that. So he didn't just go there trying to, pretend, how some people back home, they think they're all that. No, he was mingling. So this is from his observations. From his observations. So I know this sounds cold. To some of you, you're like, man, this is unbelievable. I know you are shocked, but it is happening. This is how cold-blooded some family members can get. They are as cold as ice. Hey, think about it. Like some of the people that you would meet, for instance, right? And you're like, oh my goodness, this person is as cold as ice. I can't believe they did this. Know that that person also, they are related. They are related to other people. Their family members probably are like, oh no, this guy is a saint. He would never do this. Not my brother. Those are somebody else's brother. Just like this, your own brother might do this to you. It does happen.
Before, so you're there. Hello, nice to meet you. Hello. In fact, in front of you, your brother starts to argue. What do you mean this is 5,000 naira? This is rubbish. These are the people destroying Nigeria. This is unacceptable. You, as a diaspora, like, whoa, dude, chill out, man. Come on. No, it's fine. Let's buy it. It's nothing. You get the game? It's like, bro, no, let's go to another shop. This 5,000 for what? What do you want you now? It's too expensive. The shop owner is shouting at your brother, bro, if you know you don't want to buy, you can get out of my shop. I didn't force you. Do you know how much before I pay for my stuff? If you're in the middle and you're like, go share, how much is 5,000? Just buy it. It's okay. It's all right. Then you buy a truckload of this glass cup. If you're lucky enough, down the line, you realize that one cup is actually 500 naira. And they've made 4,005 per cup. Why? You lack local knowledge. So just imagine it makes 4,500. I'm talking hypothetically. And you needed to buy 100 of this. Or let's just be a bit conservative with the number. They've made extra 3,000 naira per cup. And you're going to buy 100. That's 300K, yeah? The shop owner takes a cut. Your brother takes a nice big cut. You're also going to buy a bunch of plates and other things, right? Everybody take, at every point, everything that you need to achieve, they give you, it's called illusion of inclusion. They give you a false sense of yourself. They pretend, it's called financial ring fencing. They pretend like they are looking out for you.
That's right, Franklin. He is. Guys, I know for some of you, you are so shocked. You are so shocked to hear this. That's why I let it all play out for you guys to hear it, what he had to say. Oh, I know. I know what you're thinking. You're like, oh my God. Unbelievable. These people are cold as ice. I know. You would think just because you lack the local knowledge, you would be helped. So you, the other diasporan, you are hearing what people who are even born, those of us that were born there, the moment you lack that local knowledge, it's over. If you are not lucky enough, exactly, Audrey, you're right. In-house scamming. MS Delta said Afridamus, you're telling the truth. You're absolutely right there. Thank you, MS Delta. Dwayne said, if money is sent back home, it should go to educate and buy farmland and a family compound, maybe a truck to start a family business so it can sustain the family. See, Dwayne, you are absolutely correct. That would be a perfect, great idea. But do you think they would do that? No, they will not. But see, the way you are thinking about that, that would be the perfect thing to do. They buy a farmland, now they start working that farm and start, you would see that way so many other people would benefit. But no, they would scam you to the bone. Thank you, MS Delta. Thank you. Thank you there. Thank you. All right.
Into the marrows on my.
All right. Let's have Kidola. Can you hear me? Kidola, are you there?
I did.
Hey, Kidola, thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me here.
Well, what Franklin is saying, look, this problem started from long time ago. Just give me a second first. Just give me a second. What happened is this. They start look. It's also the fault of also the people that were staying long time ago in abroad.
So when like people that been like out of the country for a while.
Yes, because you see, a few years back, let's say early 90s.
Yeah.
So those that were coming, they were blowing kind of like a trapon, like they were living in heaven wherever they are, especially those that live in
fake life.
Fake life. So these people started seeing what they're not. They say that's what they are. They say, "Oh, I have a company, I have this, I have that. Look at the picture of my house. Why just fake?" So these people are saying like, "Wow, you're living big. We suffer here." So that's how it came to forward to that fake life. Some of them started showing the money. You understand what I mean?
Yeah. Because when you go there, you exchange the money, you have a lot more. But what about like, okay, the people who, they live there, and you come there, they are related to this, they are your family member, and they would still take advantage of people despite how much help you've been giving them, even if when you lived in the West.
Oh yes, people are just wicked. Let me just tell you the truth. The more you give, the more they ask. You have to live in the country, right?
Mm-hmm.
If let's assume that you live in Nigeria, you have some money, right? You will not give more than 5,000. 5,000 is like 1 million naira. Because if you give more than 5,000 naira, you get, if the person come the next day to ask you for something, it's like, is the witch coming to disturb you? So, are you the witch coming to disturb me? You understand? Because
so like, like you living over there, right?
Yeah.
In Nigeria. So, and you've been to the West and back. Like, what would be the advice you would give to people like in the West who think like, okay, I'm coming here and I'm being pampered, like these people are just being nice, taking me to these places. So like, what would you tell them to do like when they come back?
The day you land, cancel your emotions. Block your emotions. Behave like them. Complain. Hide. If you are
complain.
Complain. Just start complaining. By the time you start complaining and they didn't see the money, then they start giving you distance. Then you now see where to rearrange yourself within 1 week. After 1 week, you start knowing them.
So it's very possible.
Sorry, I was fixing the frame.
if you
Audrey is laughing at him. I want to fix the frame.
Of being in Nigeria, or 3 weeks, you can.
if you learn
apart from the money,
if you learn within 1 week, you understand what is going on in Nigeria. But if you learn and you allow them to seize your emotions and your feelings, they will rip you off within the second day you are in Nigeria or you're in Africa.
So you know, because it's like, because Franklin is saying some stuff here that which also make a lot of sense. Well, some of these people, they don't want to go to the market. They start pretending like they are better than that. The sun is too hot, you see, and I think that also plays a role in it.
Life, because let me just tell you the truth. If you come like us that really move at that time, it's let's say it's our 90s, right? You see people coming or their family member coming. Then when you want to even come and visit them, say, hey, hello, they will bounce you. You understand me? Or when the guy comes out, we only shake you with a finger, not with the full hand.
Wait. You guys have the, that's why I say Africa is all the same. So you guys have some people who also shake your hand with only 2 fingers.
Only 2 fingers. One finger.
Wait, you guys have the 2 finger handshakers there too?
Yeah,
just to show that they are better. They only give you 2 fingers.
On the mile, even the friend you have as a friend, you normally see will tell you, man, let's see the next day. I'm busy. It's not even showing up. Just because they give you the sense of, oh, wow, this guy is rich, he's in abroad and everything. But because TV was not showing the reality of overseas at that time.
Yeah.
Because you never see TV showing about people suffering in America, people sleep on the street, or people are like cleaners, cleaning metros, train stations, cleaning hospital grounds and everything, sweeping the ground. They don't show all these things. So they can come up, bombard you with company, I say new cars, I work as this, I work as that. Why this guy is just a metro cleaner? You know what I'm saying? This guy just a train station cleaner. Those inner city train cleaning. What people have in America, what they call those inner city train. You understand?
Guys, what Kidole we're laughing about here, the 2 finger handshake. So in Africa, like some of these guys, you diasporan Africans, when some of these people travel back to Africa to show people that, to make them feel like those people are dusty, when people reach out to shake their hands, they would only give you 2 fingers. You're only good for 2 fingers. They don't give you all 5. They only give you 2.
So maybe Frankie was being born before, so he have to adjust. Maybe the money is no longer there, so he just have to go back and start building his things himself. Because the way he speaks, he was being born before.
Well, he's definitely, the way he studies it. Yeah, he really knows their game.
Because when you be burnt, then you will adjust yourself. When you want to do anything, you will come down to Nigeria and do it yourself. Or you cannot trust. Look, the truth about now they're knowing anybody that live in Africa, so I don't know what is going on. No, you can just, here we have YouTube here. You can just turn YouTube what is going on. So now they're really knowing the situation of, oh, okay, you people are not just there enjoying, because you can just turn on the YouTube. You can just see a lot of things, how things happen. But if you still want to fall into the what we call mugu, then you still get burnt, because these people doesn't have really feelings like that.
So Kidola, it's almost December. Many are packing their bags. They are headed you guys' way. I think some have started coming.
Yes.
So what is the atmosphere looking like the people that are on the ground. Because some this is their job to wait for them, and the ones that are there. And sorry, let me 86 lives. Afridamus, they even call some Alhaji. Oh yeah, I forgot all about that. Yeah, the Alhaji. Yeah, they get title. But go ahead.
Let me just tell you the truth. If you come to the airport now, you see people. But one thing people in diaspora have to understand, that you live in America or London, wherever you live in, there are guys in Africa, let's say Nigeria, who are doing far more better in terms of financially than you.
Thank you.
Understand? So if you want to show up, guys in Nigeria will allow you to show up. Depends on your cycle, depends on your friend, depends on who you do. Because there are some guys in Nigeria who are really rich, but they'll pretend they're poor. Yeah. They also complain. Here in Nigeria,
because so like the people hound them too.
Yeah. So let me assume you just comes in, right? The money you have is the money you want to spend on your vacation or whatever. If you want to build a house, is the money into your pocket. But somebody who lives there is continue making money,
right?
And you know the value of those money, because look, if I live here, right? If I'm too generous to you, I will give you like $5. That's over generous. If you come the next day, I will drive you.
Wait, so they cannot come the next day?
No, they cannot come the next day. You understand? I only assist those who want to go to school inside my extended family.
So okay, these people who, like, let's say somebody come from the diaspora, right? Most of these people would come, pull them to the side and say, oh God, I have not eaten forever. Like, everybody have problem. Do they line up like that to the people who have business and live in there?
No. Whoa, man. How can you do that? Look, you know, when you live in Nigeria, you have what we call temperament. You don't listen to nonsense, right? That's why I say rich guys in Nigeria, they don't just give money away like that. That's why you sometimes when I see guys that come from overseas, they try to show up, they try to, look, you don't just give money away like that. I understand family emotions. Yes, some of them, they're really poor. Maybe you give, then you start forgetting yourself. You understand me? Then that's going to be a problem. But if you give, then remember yourself. Try to do for yourself. Then that will be good. In Nigeria here, there's no rich man. Let's look at your own brother. Let's say you have a brother that's a multimillionaire. He can help you to start a business. If that business fails, don't just come again.
You see, yeah. If starting a business and getting because most of the people back there, right? You would think they'll even learn and say, hey, you are in the diaspora. They will study and know what businesses work and do honest business with you. But I mean, I'm sure for some people it happens, but hardly do I hear people suggest, things like that.
Afridamus, you know one thing about guys that live in the Western world is this: their emotions is different because they start building this emotion. One thing I realized when I start coming to Western world is this: is that when you stay there for too long, your type of emotion changes. Because when you can eat, let's assume you can just pick a bread in the butter and you just eat it like that, right?
Right.
Easily. So your emotion, when you hear people say, oh, I didn't eat, your emotion changes. Like, wow, man, you didn't eat? Then you want to give. From there, they start entering you. For they say, I'll be sick since I didn't know who to. Then they get you.
But they're always sick.
Yeah, they always stages to stage. Or some of them come and see you, they wear very dirty slippers full of dust to show that
they do it on purpose?
Yes.
Wow. So they're not dusty like that. They
just pretend to come with that dirty slippers, dusty feet to show more how stupid it is. So then they'll play into your emotions. But they cannot do that to somebody who live on the ground. Because the dusty you are, the more you want to, he will look at you, he will tell you are welcome. Then
I'll
tell your
just give I'll just give them water and say, wash your feet, sir.
they will just tell your student, here, here is like dog eat dog. A multimillionaire guy will not give you more than 5,000 naira, and you don't come the next day. Because he will not even give you that time. You understand? Will not even give you that, but because you live in overseas, your emotions are different. You, you, somebody say I'm sick. You're supposed to take the money, go and see the doctor. Or I didn't eat. You say take the money, go and eat. No, if somebody tell me they eat, I say sorry, go and find food to eat for yourself. I didn't eat too. You understand? So it's differences of emotion.
Respond. Yeah.
So that's the way they will also play into your hands, and maybe friends that are even richer than you will want to even get your own money because you play to be very rich, you play to be very generous. He will just want to eat you too. It's not about the poor ones, but the rich ones also want to get to you also because you show already you have the money. But if you're stingy and you complain, as they complain, you also complain.
So it's all about mostly about the people, Africans from the diaspora, also playing a big role in this happening.
Yes, yeah, because this is where they came to look. Because look, the economical situation changes. There's somebody just come, maybe buy new clothes when he was coming, new shoes and everything.
Yeah.
They want to sell himself like what is not, because some black people lie a lot. And
right.
In Nigeria, there is a champion, that is the center of lying. You understand me?
Like the people that they show up and claim they have big companies, they make all this.
They're not, because Nigeria is a factory of lie. You get what I'm telling you. So if somebody tell you something, you have to be very careful. I'm always saying this, that when you lie, you start getting choky because you cannot lie anymore. Then the choke started coming. You understand? But when you say the truth, you will free yourself. You understand?
Right.
How long you be saying, oh, I have this, I have that? Then you want to match to that what you be saying. Then you get choking. You understand? You get choked up. You understand? So everybody say, oh, I'm back. Oh, I'm back. Oh, man, I'll be suffering there. You continue complaining until within a week, you will know who they are. Then you adjust. But if you let them get to you within the first 2 days, my man, that money you brought to Nigeria will be finished. But hold your money tight, complain as they're complaining, eat what they eat. If they say, let's go, it's man, I don't have money. Always put yourself back. Study who they are. Within a week, you know who they are really. Then you know how to operate. You will see a good one among the 10 family. You see at least two good ones who you can work with. But the other 8 might have good, very, very bad.
I was in Gambia like about 7 months ago. So over there we have, it's kind of like our type of suya is called afra. It's like barbecued. So this afra is good. So I went there to I like, because over here I don't get the real deal. So when I was there, I was like, let me enjoy some of these. So I went there with a couple of times, but another time I went with this friend, and I'm getting some, and I was like, hey, do you want some? I'll get you some. He's like, nah, man, trying to be a big man, right? Because he's from England or somewhere. He's like, he's like, no, I don't eat meat much. I said, all right, that's cool. So I bought my stuff. The guy's making it, is wrapping, they're wrapping it for me, and then he's like, oh, are you gonna eat it here? I was like, nah, I'm going home and eat it. I'm gonna eat this at home. He's like, oh, try to tell the man to do it in 2 separate papers. I was like, bro, I thought you said you don't eat meat. He's like, oh, but I want you to give me a little bit. I said, no, you should have said that, because most people are not used to pushing back. I said, no, I bought this for me. I was willing to buy for you. You said you don't eat meat. Like, the guy got really visibly mad and started getting upset. And I told him, I said, look, man, I said, you're a grown man. I said, if you're that mad at me, if you're that pissed off, just buy your own afra, like buy your own suya. You know what I'm saying? So most people, I don't know if they cannot push back on people when they start playing these games. Because I was genuinely offering, but I think he felt entitled to try to take what I'm buying for myself.
You have to understand. You have to understand is this: when these Africans come back home, those that live in Britain or those that live in America, their accent change automatically. You understand?
You know, the accent changes.
Yeah, look, you stay. Why the accent change, their behavior change. That's what I said. That's what comes with that word Akata that everybody's talking about now. Oh, Akata, they call us Akata. Akata would never be referred to the Black Americans, really. They don't know Black Americans. Akata would be referred to these Nigerians when they come back home, the whole persona change. You understand? The whole persona change. They become a little bit arrogant. They don't, because everything is built on fake.
So they just ruin it for everybody.
So they just ruin it for everybody. So they just pretend, show a lot of money. They let assume the next guy who went come back. So, oh man, that is what Peter did. You're a failure. You're a loser. You don't work hard enough. Then this thing started growing. Then those that at home that they travel, they just depend on their family member to start sending them money to survive. They don't want to look for a job. They will even marry on your money.
I've had a guy call me, text me before that told me that he's like, oh, he just got, I think he said his wife just had a baby. I was like, congratulations, you know, like he texted me first. Then 2 days later, he called me. He said to me, oh, bro, I told you I had a baby. I was like, I said, I congratulated you. I was like, what do you want? He's like, oh man, you know, he's like, for the naming ceremony, blah, blah. And I told him straight up. I said, look, bro, I said, when you were having sex with your wife, did you run it by me? Like, did you invite me? Did you run it by me? I said, you did not. So why are you trying to run this by me? I said, you told me, I congratulated you. What else do you want? You know? What else do you want from me? So I never really allowed myself to, you know, play into it because, like, the guy feels so entitled that he wants to call me. You see, if I had given into the game, he would have hooked me and continued doing it nonstop. So I was like, nah, you know, I'm just gonna put a stop to this right here. You're not about to blow my phone up for your own good. Give me 1 second. Let me read this. MS Delta, thank you for the super chat. He said, Kidola, it's not just Africa. I had a cousin call me for money. He said his family was hungry. You're absolutely right. That does happen here in America, you know, as well, amongst, you know, like, you know, black people. I think black people everywhere is the same pretty much. Let me thank him properly here. All right, we have Gas Them Up in the house. Gas Them Up, thank you for joining us. Gas Them Up, what do you want to add onto this topic? Gas Them Up, are you there?
You hear me, yeah?
Gas Them Up, what's wrong with your audio?
Can you hear me clearly?
We can hear you. It said Gas Them Up like Russia. Mad Dog, that's you?
Yeah. It's Brian.
Yeah,
Don't fucking gas them up, bro.
Mad Dog, are you coming to try to, you know, ruin my stream? Because the F-bombs ruin my stream.
Well, do they?
Yeah.
Pardon that.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm going to call you to say is this, right?
Yeah.
Now, me, I've kind of been on the fortunate end of the sticks, right? To say, I don't really have family that ask me for money like that from Nigeria, if you know what I mean.
Right.
That just so happened to be me. Other than one auntie that I've got, I don't know if you think people are foolish or whatsoever. But when you were speaking earlier on, and you mentioned something about people that set the trend for these people is the ones that go back home and start acting like the big man and big woman.
Right.
I swear, growing up in Nigeria, yeah, I've seen my auntie be coming, or some family of mine, they be coming from overseas, like they come visit home and that. When they come, they pull up in 2 flipping cars and that 2 black cars. They got a driver, drive them all around.
Wait.
They've got their own special car.
Wait. They have like they have their own little convoy.
Yeah, you think it's Joe Biden pulling up in in the middle of or something, bro? I ain't gonna lie.
No, I'm laughing because I've seen this before too. Growing up,
bro, like
I've seen this.
These men come in sharing money, sharing clothes, new clothes that they bought for cheap anyway, clothes from Primark and that, acting like they got it all. I move over here to the west, and these men are living in council flats, bro. 3 bedrooms with 1 toilet in it. You know what I'm saying? And it's almost like, yo, where did you get this from? You see me, I can't fake things like that. Like even with the family, I'm telling you, the one that flipping, I'll tell you a little story, not really a story, just an outline. Flipping, I think it was what do you call it? It was 2019, the Christmas 2019.
Yeah.
For the pandemic. I had this auntie in night that sent money. I sent home money to her to look after her kids and that. It was 250,000 naira, right? Just for her kids. It was quite a lot.
How much is that in dollars? Oh,
no, that would have been in euros. It would have been 400. So which in
okay.
dollars would have been a little bit more. If you know what I mean. So it'd been a little bit more in dollars.
So like $400-500.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, $400-500. And you know the weirdest thing was that because I switched jobs at that point in time, so the way I got paid changed. So let's say I got paid every fortnightly, every 2 weeks. Kind of affected me going into the next year, up to the point where I had to ask. I've not asked my sister for some money over that, and I kind of look stupid after doing that.
Because like your gap in between your pay time, you know, your money that you're supposed to hold on to and live on, you send that to them.
Yeah, send it to them, and it's almost like it caught me off guard because I didn't plan for it properly, right. And then I think it was February, just before the pandemic, right?
Right.
It was February, and I remember her texting me again, talking about the country hard. I'm like, yo, nigga, what is your problem, bro? You know what I mean? Like I just literally dried myself out for your sake. 250K. It's on the time that within 2 months you burn 250K down. You know what I mean? And
the food is cheaper for them.
Yeah, the food is cheaper there, and those are the things that just make you lose your mind. And
yeah, they don't pay housing.
No, they've got their own yard actually. They got their own yard, so they don't even pay rent. They don't have to do any of that. But it's the situation like that when people want to make a fool of you. And my aunt has told me she's gone tonight. This woman and her husband, they're building a house somewhere else. So that money that we're sending, and they have their own house already. But I think her husband is building it for his mother or something like that. So that money we're sending is going to those projects. So it's not really any of that.
So you guys are sponsoring the project pretty much.
Yeah, but we didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? And ever since then, my aunt's not even dealing with them man anymore.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And it's almost like you just have to treat people that way, because you see, I never learned how to treat these people or interact with them until I kind of saw the dirt that they do to other people. And I'm just going to advise you, if you have to block people, block them. Like me, you see me, I just blocked that woman a few days ago. I just blocked her. But she was asking me for some money in the last 2 weeks. And I told her, I texted her, right? I said, I don't have it on me right now, but I will have it. And I'll send it down to you when I have it. If you know what I'm saying. And
yeah,
I told her in the matter of the next few weeks, I'm going to send it to you. Guess what? 2 days later, she's texting me again, talking about, hey, hello, good morning. Hopefully you are doing well. Bro, I said, I'm not doing well. I said,
wait. You responded, you said you're not doing you're following Kidola's blueprint. He said when they complain.
No, it's just like because they know that I mean sometimes I get into sticky situations, but and I would explain it to them. Look, but they don't give a damn though. They don't
Oh
really care.
no, they don't care.
Yeah, no matter what you're going through, they don't really care. You can tell them, "Oh, I've got this, so I've got these complications that I'm
They
in at this
just
point
say,
in
they
time."
would just say man
Yeah,
up.
yeah, they'll just say, "Oh, I understand." Yeah, but yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? These people, you could literally be on the verge of death, bro. They'll ring you, you tell them what your situation is. Like literally, let's say you go into an accident and they call you to check on you to say, "Oh, are you okay?" Such and such. In some way, shape, or form, they're gonna creep the flipping money conversation in there, like, "Oh, but you know the country hard. What do you want me to do, fam? You want me to massage the country till it turns soft?" You know what I'm
Wow.
saying?
Yeah,
But,
things like that. That's what's crazy. That no matter what situation you are in, they just completely ignore it as if it just doesn't matter. So it's like you're thinking to yourself, okay, if you are ignoring my problems, that I should be strong. Why aren't you strong for your own problems?
yeah, but people like that, wow, people like that, you just have to block them, really. You know what I mean? Like that's what I
Mhm.
done. There are few families
Hold on,
related, not even really
let
talk.
me read this super chat here. MS Delta said, Afridamus, what is the psychology? Why are some people feel so entitled? Well, I can tell you for sure, like especially family, they think that again, the psychology, they think because they are related to you, whatever you have, should belong to them as well. That's what they think. And Pro U Service said they come in convoy because their relatives back home scare them by saying they are target of kidnappers. I can see that. MS Delta again, he said, Afridamus, I learned the hard way. I stopped lending money to family members. They will never pay you back, MS Delta. They will never pay you back. Mustafa Drame, thank you for the super chat. It says CHF. I don't know what country that is, but thank you. MS Delta said, good strategy. Complain back. Exactly. Tell them you are hungry as well.
And
Kidola,
the
what do you
funny
think?
part,
What do you think about what uh, Mad Dog is saying?
No, no, what he's saying is, is right. Look, I give you this, I'll give you this instance. You see, I'm the firstborn of my mother, but I'm not the firstborn of my father. So it's like polygamous son, right?
Yeah,
So, so at the beginning, when I was working, I helped because my father died. I helped my junior sisters a lot, to
yeah,
go to school. But after that, they started seeing as part of like a lottery. You know what I mean? Lottery ticket. They all stand
yeah,
on their own now, but there come the extended ones. Then I get married, right? Then they started coming. Then my wife put put me onto his side and said, "You cannot continue doing this. How long?" So I started adjusting myself slowly. You know. So
mhm,
you can only get money from me if you want to go to school. I will
yeah.
pay for your school fees. I will pay for your dormitory. I will pay for you for all these things. Then this was not enough. Now come all the games. Then then I was not answering anymore. There's it's his wife, is his
Oh yes, that's another thing also.
there's actually
Another
my wife.
drama. They don't
So
allow you to. A lot of other Africans, they would say, "Oh, ever since he got married, he changed." They will
so the
start fighting with the wife. I've seen that
so
also.
yeah, so because most of them, because it's this because you cannot come. Look, if I don't give you permission, you don't come to my house. That's just the truth. That I said, if you live in overseas, is the emotions. You cannot. No, you can not come and visit me.
Yeah,
I don't want no trouble. But I'm not even giving. Then they started. This family member started relating it to your wife. Oh, because it's they said because I'm not married to a Nigerian. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That that is Oyibo wife is the one causing all
Even
this.
if it was Nigerian white woman, they would still
they will still make a problem. So,
yes,
so
they would even make
what I
more
do-
problem with that.
they will even make more problems. So what I did, and I asked my junior ones that are trained, I said, I was not a YouPost age when I started helping you people. The YouPost, anybody that called me, I had to start calling you people too. You understand?
Right.
Don't want nobody to call me. You understand? So I started bastardizing, because if you don't do that, the stress that will come and catch you.
So when you started doing that, did they start, bad mouthing you and
in my back?
Yes, it's not behind your back for sure.
In my back, they'll go and meet my mother and talk all kind of nonsense. You understand? But because I live on the ground, right?
Yeah.
So I don't really give a damn, because if you meet me, I will tell you a whole life story. How if you're the biggest witch that want to come and haunt me, you understand?
Yeah.
I will give you what you want. So in my bag, this brother said, no, don't just call me, because you started giving, you forget about yourself. Before you know, those that the one you give it, they'll be the one to come and kill you. You understand me?
This is true,
So
because now they feel entitled.
Yeah, so any guys that come from abroad, who live in abroad, the person you're giving money to might be even far more richer than you. You understand? So keep your money. If you could land, wait for 1 week. Within a week, they will not be patient enough to show their real color. You understand me?
Yeah, like see what you said about low self-esteem, and how we give some people, make some people want to have a God complex towards other people, right?
Because they want to feel like they're gods.
Yeah, look, for people who just want to help themselves, look, so you just have to turn cold with these people. You know what I mean? Be able to say no to people, look them dead in the eyes and say, you know what, fuck off. I can't help you. If you have to block them, block their contacts, man. I've had contacts that I've blocked in the last few weeks because I'm just not doing it anymore. You're not gonna wreck my head. You know what I mean? That's the settings I'm on these days. So you just have to be cold as well to deal with these kind of people.
Gotta be as cold as the winter, man.
Yeah, because even your own father will scam you. They'll put one over you. My dad did it to my sister, bro. Gave my money to go build a house for him. He went and bought swampland, like the bags. It's not in bags that in Gambia, bro. Struggling to build on the swampland. That's the type of land that he went to get for my sister. And she paid him bare money. So it's almost like, you know what? This people is not worth it.
You haven't seen the backland lately. Their land is good.
Oh, and all good.
They were just being accused of swampland. It's made up.
All well and good for them, but look, like you just have to be cold with these people. Be able to tell them no. Like you don't really need them like that much in your life, do you? You know what I mean? Like what are you trying to save there?
Because you're just trying to maintain it. Yeah. Let's allow St. James. St. James, can you hear me?
Yes, man, I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me?
St. James, we can hear you. Welcome to the show. St. James, what do you want to add on to, what, we are talking about here and analyzing Franklin's video?
Unfortunately, I didn't see Franklin's video that you are analyzing. I just came when Kidola was talking, man. And this is an interesting topic, my bro, man. We got to get into it.
Yeah,
bro,
go for it.
Like what I forgot. He said you got to be cold, man. That's how you got to deal with people back home. Myself, I can count the number of people who has my number back home. In order to even get to me directly, man, it's gonna take you a lot of work to get it. You see what I'm saying?
You have to go through gymnastics.
Oh yes, you gotta talk to people that know people who know people before they get my number. You can't get it. That's how it is. And family members, as an African, everybody know families big, problems are majors, and everybody has to step up. So for me, in order for me to send my money back home, everybody has to be telling me the same story. I give you an example. If like an uncle is sick, right? So everybody's talking about it. Yes, I can try to help out. If there is a major issue that everybody wants to help, I will participate. But helping friends is not going to pay off. These are the same people that will talk behind your back. Yeah, I have another friend who live in America. He has a big house. He got mansions. He has cars. So the effort that you put towards helping those people is not recognized at the end of the day. So no matter what you do, they will always talk and compare you to others. You see
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
saying?
what Franklin is saying. Like he said back there, they don't care about you. They don't care about what you're going through. They just want what they can. If they can scam it, they will do it.
Yeah, that's just Kidola said. You can be in bed and sick, and they call you or the text. Oh yes, I'm going through this, and you feel like you don't even want to. One day I did it to someone, right? He was explaining, he was trying to explain his problems to me like for the longest, and I decided to listen to him. And he once it was done, I asked him, "Did I ever call you with my problems?" He said, "No." Do you know why I don't do that? He said, "Well, we're friends, and you're supposed to share your problems with each other." I said, "No, I know you can't help me.
Yeah.
Even if you could, I would not ask you because at a certain age, I decided on my own not to ask for help."
Yes, I decided to stand up for myself.
Stand up for yourself and take care of your own problems. So I was helping him. I was like, okay, I was giving him some word of encouragement because he was unemployed. I said, well, then you have to look at a different direction. Maybe set up your own shop, try to do something different instead of waiting for the government to give you some work. So he was mad at me. He was like, yeah, man, I called the other guy. He's sending me. It's like I said, they try to compare you to someone else. I'm like, I'm not that guy. So you see what I'm saying? You can't help these people, bro. No matter what you do, at the end of the day, they will still not be satisfied. This is Africa.
But St. James, if you look at it, right, the people even that giving them money, it's not even helping them because it's domesticating them. It's taking away their ability to even want to think to go do for self. Because see, if a man or woman is truly hungry and they would become ambitious how to find food, they would figure out a way, to uplift themselves. But if you are their backup plan, I mean, they're not gonna do it. Let me read this super chat here. KBM, thank you for the super chat. He said, "Seeing me as an ATM to me ain't that, man." I mean, thank you, AB. Thank you for the super chat here. And MS Delta said, "Facts. Some relatives act like being successful and making money is not hard work." Exactly, but do they do it themselves? Never. Musti Drami said, "This is a serious problem in Africa." You are absolutely right, Musti. Visionary of Love, the beggars don't care, but I experience those who don't ask and beg. Thank you, all of you, for the super chat. Let me thank you guys properly.
Afridamus, let me give you a story, right? Look,
Yeah.
like I said, that if you live in overseas, you have to be very, very careful. Let me give you a story. I have two friends. What St. James is talking about friends now. I have two friends, right? These two friends, we finished high school secondary school together. One didn't even go to. One was just doing business. Then after secondary school, I went to university. I went to University of Benin. Then after that, I went to SAP. Then I was looking for a job. But man, if you don't have connection, it will take you time. You understand me? So I was jumping from boss to boss. Even at the time, I was just squatting with somebody in a room, just to squat. Now, at the time, I have to look for how to really, really, really survive. Then somebody said, "I have my mind. Let me go and check this wharf. These guys that are doing clearing cars in the wharf, Then I jump into some of these bosses. I found my way into those areas. You know what I mean? Man, it was very difficult. I met one Igbo guy. I said, "Man, can I just join you? Let me just be your boy." You understand me?
Yeah.
Then at one particular point, if that place closed, for you to get even taxi to Oshodi, take a hell out of a time,
Yeah.
And I have to walk toward these areas. But at this time, I was still looking for a job, how to survive. Because I came from a polygamous home, you understand? My father was dead at that time. So
Yeah.
I need to survive my junior ones. Then later I find a connection. I get the job I'm having now. You know, through somebody's just a true good somebody who just helped.
Yeah, because you went out there, you see that you needed this
It
and
takes
apply.
time, it
But
takes
but
suffering,
but
it
these
takes
people
everything.
they want things to happen today,
Very
and
fast, very
also
fast.
they don't want to put in the work. You
You-
see, so that's a problem.
My friend that we're friends, when you just hear that I have some little change, they will keep you as a friend. You think they're your real friend, but they're not really your real friend. They start calling you, you know, talking good. At the time, they start. The call is not really a call of good friendship. It's just a call to hold you on as a friend. Then they'll start demanding money for you. Then this other guy, he went to Japan. He didn't make it. He came back. He just hold me as a friend, but not really a friend. You
Yeah,
know. Then he lost his mother. He could not bury his mother. So I said, okay, I'll give you some money, my man. You know, after I give that money, he went to bury his mother. You see, hold me as a friend. You see, why I'm talking about St. James on is not real friend of love, but it's a friend to get money from you. Then within 6 months after the mother burial, he said, man, just drop me some money, man. Just drop money some my bank account. That day I cut that guy off.
well, he want you to drop money in his account.
Yeah, just like that,
Why?
man.
Like why?
Because he thought he's so close to me. We're not friend parties, close parties. I said, man, motherfucker, I just give you some money, not even borrow, I just give you some money when you went to bury your mother, you could not bury your mother. Then after 6 months, that's said, man, I'm a man, just drop some money back, man. I need some money with confidence. I
Wow.
just say, okay, I cut him off. So what I'm trying to say is this: is I live in Nigeria, right? I live here.
Yeah.
But those like people like the Mad Dog that live in Britain and all these guys that have a little bit emotional changes, not because when you live, you kind of have emotional with people at home. You
Right.
understand me? Because
Hmm.
you don't see them. That will happen to me too when I went to do some courses here in
Yeah.
France. When I went to do some courses in France, it also happened to me. You understand me? Then you start having that feelings towards them and everything. Then you want to go back. Okay, how they doing? You think if they think they're sick, you
So
think,
so
whoa, I
so
don't help
Kidola,
them with that.
when you went for your studies and back, did they treat you like the same way?
No, when I want to do some courses in France, because when you work in with Toto F, you
Yeah.
understand me? When you work with Toto F, they will send you to France to do some courses. You understand? Over there to broaden your scope and everything. So I
Yeah.
went to do that for 3 years.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah, they were calling. They were calling, but I was given some money, but not so big money like that. But the moment they know that you work somewhere like in an oil company,
Yeah.
you understand me? They without not even knowing your salary, you understand? Without not even knowing your salary, they just think, "Whoa, this guy is rich.
Yeah.
This guy have everything." You understand? So they now start want to ask you for more money, for more money, for more money. You understand me? When I was a bachelor, I could do it, give some, not just give some. But the
But
moment
what's the concept? This concept that okay, even if the person have the money, but if everybody's requesting it, pretty soon the person will no longer have anything left.
yeah, you can hold somebody in abroad for a long time, but not mean that live on the ground in Nigeria here. Because I see everything, you know what I mean? If I
Yeah.
give to you, you come back again, I will sort you. You understand me? I will give. I train my simplest, my junior ones, right? Okay, I have some extended family. It's okay, but the more they become more intense, I want to go to computer school. The computer school job become more rainy that time. I want to go to computer school. Okay, how much I give? Then when I get married, they started happening so fast, so fast. My wife started seeing I'm under pressure. Then she asked me, for how long you want to do this? You understand? For how long? Because she's not used to it. You understand me?
Right. Yeah,
I make,
because it's like if you look at it, you know, I mean, like you went for the things you want, you were fighting, you fought for them. What is stopping them? Oh, let me see this. Musti drama. Oh, Mustafa. Oh, said I'm currently in Switzerland. Hey, you no longer live in the States? Is it the same Mustafa or different one? Um, Is it Mustafa in Wisconsin? He said, I'm in Switzerland now. It's been a
Afrodamus,
while. Yeah.
people that, like, let's say person like Mad Dog might earn more money than me that live in Nigeria, even when I work with oil company. You understand me? His money every month, because it's in euros, might be heavy than mine that is here. You
Yeah.
understand me? If you start converting it. But the only thing that I benefit from them is they give you like house allowance. You understand me?
Okay.
They give you like house allowance. Let's assume the house I bought in Lekki was a house allowance. You understand me? They give you that house allowance. Let's assume the house cost maybe 60 million or 70 million to buy a 4-bedroom duplex. You understand me? You know,
Yeah.
that at top they give you that amount of money. They you start paying slowly. You understand? There come a time they must say, okay, we cancel this house allowance from you. Then you start getting it. You know what I mean? That's the way you operate sometimes. So it's not about the salary is so huge, but the job you get somewhere bonus, somewhere this, somewhere that, or you even more you try to get more get more knowledge in some certain things.
But see, that's great. That's great benefit.
That great
They give
benefit.
you,
Like I
yeah,
want to
you are
do more,
able to own the house, you know.
yeah,
So
so I want to do more like consulting and all these things. You train yourself into some certain programs and other programs, so that you try to prepare yourself in case if there's reorganization, it will not affect you. That the company needs you. You understand me? So you not become stuck in them because you have the knowledge or some other knowledge that other people don't have. But what is going on is that because there's somebody say, oh, he work in another company, my other company salary might not be as big as somebody who live in Europe or in America, but I have some benefit that I might have, that I might keep some bonus everywhere. You understand? So this just the way it is. So that's why I said people that live in overseas, they can just wake up one day, just give $500 to $1,000 like that. You understand
right.
me? I give it to you. I give you 5,000 naira. You understand me? And if you call me the next day, I will tell your whole life story.
you wouldn't even mince the words, huh?
But you see, with someone like me, what Kidala said is true, because when you come out here to the West, you kind of feel like you're at an advantageous point economically, and you're almost like, oh, you know what? Let me just give back to the people. You know what I'm saying? Or even sometimes you
That's true.
might feel it
That's
as
true.
an act of, yeah, as an act of charity, or sometimes some people take it as an obligation, like they have
Right.
to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to be very careful, because when people start doing that, they'll start running circles. They will start running a ring around you. You won't
Yeah,
believe this amount of money I'm telling you. I started to tell her children, bro. 2 of her
some of
children
these
to start
people.
contacting me, doing the same thing. I'm like, yeah, why are you teaching your kids to do that?
Oh
I
man,
told her to.
that
Like,
happened.
sometimes I'll get messages
That
from her.
happened to me. That happened to
Yeah,
me.
sometimes I'll get messages from her, and she'll be like, "Oh, sorry, that's someone else that's sending. That's the one of the kids that was sending you." I told her straight up, like, tell your kids to stop texting me, bro. I don't know them like that.
Because those
Don't say
kids
it
were
like,
sent. They were sent. Hey, they were sent by the
you
adult
send
to
them.
text
Yes.
you.
They're just not picking the phone up and text me. Kids don't move like that. Kids don't
Right.
care. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't. The responsibility and the burden of it is not on them. But shush, you just have to
Man,
be bold. Just let people know straight up. You just have to be. There's no other way around it. You just have to be bold to people and go, you know what? You're not doing that anymore. Like Kidala
and
said, I used to be very emotional, but when I started seeing that the money isn't going to the channels that you told me it was going to, because I'm not sending you money to go build a house for yourself. I'm helping you out because you told me that your kid has been sent away from school. You told me your landlord is closing your shop down. That's why I'm sending you the money. No stupid shit like go build a new house for yourself.
well, they want to live their dreams on other people's hard work. But fellas, we're gonna have St. James speak. Let's do our closing statements here. We've been here over 2 hours, so let's start. St. James, go ahead.
Of course, the emotional part is there. Once you first leave your country and you go to a different country, yeah, the emotional part is there. You want everybody to succeed back home.
Mm-hmm.
You want everybody to benefit from your success if it ever happen in the West, because some people don't make it, some people don't. But for us now, it's a must, right? We have to always help out the family, but
Right.
sometimes we get taken advantage of, and you don't know sometimes how to express it. Myself, like my family's straight. But I have these cousins, like everybody else, they feel like, I'm their come up.
Right.
You know, so that emotional part of me is gone. For me, it's like if you want something, like they said, instead of me giving you the fish, I have to teach you how to get the fish.
Exactly. That's
You know,
that's
yeah,
what I believe in. You know,
Most
I'll
most
I'll
right,
I'll,
most of
I'll
them
teach
don't
you
even
how
learn
to
how to
fish.
get the fish, bro.
right. Get up,
Yeah.
get. If you're an adult, there is something called a business plan. If you don't have a job, you want to create something, there is something called a business plan. You can work on a business plan on a professional level. You know, I want to teach you how to handle money. You know, how to be successful. I can do those things if you have the time, but I'm not gonna give you my hard-earned money without knowing exactly what you're gonna do with it. You're gonna see some picture at the end of the day where they're balling with your money, they're having fun with it. So it happens. So for Africans living in the West, man, the emotional part of you have to take it out. If you want to
Mm-hmm.
be successful in the West, take out the emotional part. Whether it's your mother, is your father, your uncle, regardless of who is in your family that you respect, they have to respect you from what you have become. You know, if you are successful, stay successful. Those things that we talk about, if you keep doing it, you're gonna be the brokest man ever in this life, man. Thank you.
You're absolutely right. Thank you, St. James. Thank you. All right, Kidola, what do you want to say in your closing here?
Yeah, if you're living abroad and you're coming back home, just hold your money to yourself, because the person you see in front of you is not really the person he is what he tried to portray. He might wear dirty clothes, he might come with sweaty face to look like he was very suffering. You have to start, this weather alone can even make somebody look haggard. Doesn't mean that he's suffering, he's just enjoying. He
Yeah.
might bend his head, he might do everything. Just hold your money. Give yourself 1 week. These guys are not patient enough to after 3 days you see that who they really is. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
keep your money. Remember when you
You
keep
know,
your
that's a
money,
good idea. You should give them 1 week. Yeah. Yeah.
just give them 1 week, and you understand who these guys really are. So don't let nobody play into your emotion. You work very hard for your money over there. You know, keep your money. If you visit home, if you want to help somebody, you make sure that person really need the money. And with this, you can also progress yourself, better yourself, than somebody coming to tie you up with stress that you don't know nothing about. Then he's not after your own goodwill, he's just after his own what he can get. There's no feelings, he doesn't have feelings for you. There's no love. He doesn't have love for you. He's just after that pocket or that money. After that, you are just an heir to him or to her. That's just what the person is. That's what I want to say, bro.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Mad Dog, go ahead. Mad Dog. Mad Dog, are you there?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead. Closing statement.
Well, look, like I said, the reason I called it is to give you lot this piece of advice, right?
Yeah.
Sub-zero settings, man. You lot have to go cold, like literally, because life can be tough in the West when you're diaspora here. You
Yeah.
lot know it yourself. Like what you go through, like Afridamus just say, like some people are working here without documentations even. I mean, just
Right.
think about that. Like
Mm-hmm.
instead of sending your money, working as hard as you can under the behind the walls, getting your money, sending it back to Nigeria. How about you stack up your money and move to some other Western country? You know what I mean? Like go sort yourself out for documentation over there. That's what you should
Right.
be doing. Just use your brains in life sometimes. Because you're dealing with a group of people that they only find value in you because you can send money to them. It's like dealing with Instagram models and that. You see the level of respect that we choose to not give to Instagram models because they
Right.
only love you for your money. They only work with you when you can fly them out or you can
Right.
buy them this and that bag. That's how your family are treating you, lot. You man some bozos, bro. You know what I mean? Like if you go family that treat you like this and you don't conform to pretty much their actions towards you and get cold and bold with them as well. Like literally, you making a fool of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and one more last piece of advice. Look, I go so cold with my family from the continent, right? That if
Yeah.
I see a Nigerian number calling me that I can't recognize, I don't pick it up. As a matter of fact, I block the number after that. You know what I
You
mean?
don't
Because
you
you
don't
just
even
can't be
allow
calling me
them
out of
you
it.
don't even allow them to text.
No, we don't. I don't really chat to them like that. Like St. James said, there's a few families that he deals with. That's how
Yeah.
I deal with
Yeah.
them
I'm
as well.
I'm I'm
Because
the
they have
same
a
way.
polygamous family after them. My
Yeah.
dad has 3 wives with like 20 kids. So
Oh
I'm not
wow.
going to be,
So
first and foremost, I'm not going to be chatting with all those people.
right.
That's for one. And I'm not going to be supporting them financially. But with that said,
Yeah.
look, people, use your brain in life. Don't let no one toil with you because you're going through a lot already. And this one, they don't care at all. like just literally. And the next time someone asks you for money, complain about your problems to them as well, you know.
Thank you, Mad Dog.
Yeah,
Thank you,
so
Mad Dog.
that's
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
All right. All right. We have Kemet Kunta. Kemet Kunta, you guys came in late, but you know, your statement and closing one. Go ahead, Kemet Kunta. Can you hear me, Kemet Kunta? Are you there? Looks. Can you hear me? Oh man, his internet is messing up. Okay, KBM, closing statement. Go ahead, KBM.
Yes. So I have to agree. You have to be cold right off. And if anybody ever tries to scam me, it's like I have a certain way of dealing with those people. Whether if I know them for a long time or whether if I just met them. So let me give you a quick example. YouTuber out of Zambia, not the recent guy that I've been dealing with. YouTuber out of Zambia,
Yeah,
2019. So we were part of this network. We'd support each other doing certain things for the channels, this and that. Never reached out to him for anything specific. He never reached out to me for anything specific. But I would say probably, I think it was like 4 to 6 months later, out of the blue, he sends me an email. And he asked me, and he sent me the pictures on Amazon and everything. He asked me to buy him right out of the blue, like a $700 Canon SLR camera.
just like that.
Just like that. So I wrote him back and I said, hey, let's first of all, let's look at what you said. Right? You wanted me to buy you an expensive camera. Never before have you ever contacted me for anything at all. We never built a relationship to where me and you are like mutual friends. Like
Yeah,
we've known
we
each other for a
even
while.
talk about it. But you know, I mean, you're American and you're white, so you're supposed to do it. You're in the diaspora, you know.
Right. Now here's his reaction after that. He
Yeah.
goes, well, thank you for letting me know how you feel about me. I go, bro,
Wait. He said what?
thank you for letting me know how you feel about me.
What does he mean?
Well, I said, hey, bro. I was like, wait a minute. It's not how I feel about you. It's the principle. Think about it. Think about what you said. You came to me, never contacted me ever before, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, you want an expensive SLR Canon camera, as if we were friends for years. Does that make any sense to you?
No.
Right. So he basically, okay, I understand.
Well, that's almost similar to what Pro U2 Services wrote here. Do you see what he wrote? He said my cousin was demanding $3,000, like $3,000 from him.
Yeah.
Imagine that. He declined. Next thing was him and his siblings insulting him. They said they were insulting him, because of, they saying, lack of house back home. They showed their true colors. Man, Pro U2, you're lucky you were able to see before you engage in that.
But see, this is also what I said to my wife prior to us getting married. I was like, hey, I'm not going to be the family ATM. So you better let everybody know ahead of time. This is who I am. This is the way that I am. This is the way it's going to be. And almost 17 years later, no issues.
So this guy, are you friends with him or not? He just
no. We were just associates. We belong to the same network of helping other people out, with their channels. And that was basically it. We just supported each other and a lot of other people doing the exact same thing. But because, just like you said, I'm from the United States, I'm a Mzungu. He just automatically thought it in his head. And he's one of the leaders in his church, which is another thing. He's not a preacher, but he's one of the leading people. He's the DJ. He handles all the mic stuff. He just automatically thought I was just gonna be that, generous and just give him an expensive camera.
Wow, the nerve.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's. I mean, like, it's just is wild. Like, just like, for example, Pro U2 is saying here, How can somebody just ask you for $3,000? Like,
That's crazy.
I mean, I had one guy, I mean, it's kind of the same thing, trying to act jokingly to say, man, it wouldn't be a problem for you to give me, like it was the equivalent of a little over $2,000. Like trying to, he acted like it was a joke. And I told him straight to his face. I was like, what do I look like giving you, $2,000 plus? Like what the hell? I said, what sky did you fall out of? Like,
Hey,
what's wrong with you?
I got to give it up. I got to give it up to a lot of them, man. They're aiming high, even though they
Yeah,
in the Air
yeah.
Force, they're aiming high.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like,
Yeah.
hey, I mean, if they ask for it and they end up getting it, that's a big win. But I highly doubt it, they would. I mean, they can probably get it out of some people, but there are fools everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And
Yeah.
and it's the whole thing. Like, I don't remember who just brought up the IG thing with these IG models. I mean, you have all these gullible men. There's actually a scam going on in Asia where there's some human trafficking going on with the scam. They got a bunch of Kenyans and people from other Asian countries doing these cyber crimes, making fake profiles on IG and other places to entice American men only, right?
Mm-hmm.
To get them to, give them money, which they think is giving it over to this woman, but it's a fake profile. It's going to these Asian companies, which actually, through slavery, cybercrime slavery, are owning these people. Basically, if they don't do these cyber crimes, they will sell them into sex trafficking, and if that doesn't work, they will sell their organs. So a lot of those guys, I'm telling you guys, a lot of those Asian women that you're in love with, they're fake. They're fake. I'm telling you.
Well, just like you're talking about the online love thing, where like there's some of the ones I did here with the Nigerian guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so a similar thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
all right, bro.
Thank you.
I wanted to tell you that story because it's just outrageous, and again, they're aiming high, and if you
an
don't,
entitlement.
Right. If you don't want to feel like a victim or feel like you're entitled to give them something because they asked for it, you just got to say no. Or just look at yourself in the mirror and practice saying no. I mean, seriously, you got to do something.
That would be a good start for them to look in the mirror and be like, no, no, no. So that they can grow that muscle, muscle to get stronger. But thank you for coming in,
welcome.
KBM.
All
right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll do the part 2 on this. We've been over 2 hours, but I mean, the video is on point, as you guys can see with the discussion. Some people might feel some type of way about it, but at the end of the day, only the truth shall set you free. Do what's best for you, but look out for you. Sometimes you might think, you might think with emotions, thinking that these people have your best interest at heart, but never be fooled. Never be fooled. No one can treat you better than you will treat yourself. So make that a priority, so that tomorrow you won't sit down and regret the things you find yourself in. But until next time, I'm your host, Afridamus. Please make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. And please, if you're watching, hit the like button. And if you're coming to watch, hit the like button as well. For those who come into replay, feel free to leave your comments. Just know that it's nothing personal. Nobody's trying to convince you of anything. But it's just about edutainment. The best edutainment channel on this side of heaven. Until next time, I will see you guys again. I'm out.